if this happens, market decides to come and seek liquidity one more time to the downside here and get a push up before we get another push down. Hello traders, welcome to the weekly forecast on gold. Just like I said last week, I was expecting market to come and take liquidity below this low, but market came to seek liquidity lower before pushing to the upside. So after getting to the upside, I was expecting market to flush to the downside, but I was expecting market to flush to the downside because I was expecting market not to close above this high, especially on daily. But immediately I saw market close above it on daily, I knew that market was planning to do something different from falling. So market was expected to seek more liquidity to the upside on 4 hours, which they did before the end of the week. So, but before we dwell more on what is going to happen next week, let's quickly check our table and update it to know when the low of the week formed, when the high of the week formed, and the total number of pips. So before I go to the table, let me just quickly check. So the low of the week formed on a Monday, and then the high of the week formed on Thursday. So that's Monday to Thursday. Let's check the total number of pips that was delivered. That's so that's 2,630 pips. So that's 2,630 pips. So we have that. Let me quickly go to the table and update that. Okay, so the low formed on Monday, high formed on Thursday. Then so we have Monday to be 9 now, and then Thursday to be 3. So, and yeah, also I tried to talk about the first and second week of every month. During last week's forecast, I was making us see how the first week can play an important role in forming the low of the week or the high of the week. The low of the month or the high of the month. And so, which was why last week I was kind of contemplating on catching the low of the month, or a possible low of the month. But since the movement has gone, we can just play along and see what will happen eventually. So this is fine. So this coming week, pay attention to Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Those days are very important. If you see your buy setup or sell setups on those days, please don't fail to take them because they might play along eventually. So now that we're done with this, let's just quickly go to our table, to our chart, and see what we can expect for the coming week. Let's see what we can expect for the coming week. All right, so I have to delete this. So just as usual, we go to weekly to see what we can expect on weekly. Then from weekly, we can project what we can expect. So going to weekly, we have our weekly POI tapped already, which is the OB. The OB has been tapped, but we still have one more POI that is up here. So let's do that. We have this here, and then we also have this forming here, this rejection block forming here. Sorry, this OB forming here. So this OB has formed, and I think this is the last POI on weekly that we can pay attention to. And let's go to daily to see where our breakout is, because breakout is our direction. So we have our breakout here. We have our breakout here. So one thing I want us to pay attention to is the fact that when market was pushing to the upside here, we're buying, and when market broke to the downside here, we started selling. But now we kind of have market breaking to the upside once more, so which is kind of going with this breakout. So we have a breakout here, we have a breakout here, and this is giving me a sign. I've seen this happen not once, not twice, but yeah, giving me a sign that market is trying to come and seek this liquidity here. But nothing is impossible. Market can still flush down one more time, but let's just play along what we see. So now that we have the breakout to the upside on daily, let's check 4 hours and see before we make our final decision on where we can expect market to go for the coming week. So going to 4 hours, we saw that market has closed above the swing guide, targeted internal liquidity, and then okay, this POI on 4 hours has not yet been tapped. On 4 hours, market got close to it. This rejection block on 4 hours has not been tapped, so it means that market is leaving this place as an inducement, and market wants to come and visit it once more. So, or after all that has been said, what can I project? First things first, I expect market to come down one more time, at least to seek liquidity before going to the upside. If market opens this week, next week rather, and we see market flushes to the downside to seek this liquidity here, there's a trend line. I think there's a trend line liquidity here on 1 hour. If market sees this liquidity to the downside, this will mean that they are coming to retest this resistance level, which was also a support level, support level, support level. Now resistance level broken, and market might just come back for it before we push to the upside one more time. So I would love to see this happen. But if market opens and we see a push to the upside, we can just wait for a retracement before we go up one more time. So, but this is what I want to see happen. I want market to seek liquidity to the downside one more time. It might not be as this deep, and it can be deeper. Market can do anything, then we can expect a massive push to the upside. In all the cases, your major bias, your major setup for this coming week should be this movement to the upside, this movement. So just work with the days that I highlighted earlier, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. If you see a buy setup, please take it. And if market pushes up, maybe on Monday, market pushes up and you see a setup, you can take it before we now follow them again to the upside. So that will be all for this week. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next week, in the next forecast.